Peace, infinite waters diving deep once again, opening your mind to a world of infinite possibilities. We are awake. And for me on my journey, just even doing videos, I'm just realizing how a lot of people right now on the planet are finding their greatness once again. And it's not a time of being in fear, because fear is false evidence appearing real. Fear will drain your energy. And a lot of the times we love to focus on something which will disempower us, the doom and the gloom. But at the same time, the more and more I'm opening my mind on my journey, broadening your horizons, I've just found is essential on my journey, my whole awakening process, which is still ongoing, because life is a continuous process. But at the same time, a lot of us, we're living in a limited state. Many of us, we still have erroneous belief systems. It's all BS. It's all belief systems. So belief systems dictate our reality. Whatever you believe essentially forms your reality. And I've just realized when we talk of broadening your horizons, it's not just about getting on a plane, going to the Caribbean. That's beautiful as well. If you have a ticket, give me one so I can go with you. But at the same time, it's all about traveling within, the journey within, and realizing that it's not just about being so narrow-minded. A lot of us, it's only till something happens that we start to think about life. I remember growing up and someone dies or passes away. We say passes away because it's just nicer. It's just a nice euphemism, right? When someone passes away and you go to these funerals and everyone is crying and everyone is really thinking about life, and then the next day people are partying, driving around like nothing happened. And that's how it is. A lot of the times, until something happens, people are always going to live in, many of us on the planet are always going to live in ignorance. But at the same time, now on the planet, it's time for elevation. And a lot of people are realizing that ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance will only leave you, it will only leave you more confused about with what's going on. Because a lot of us, we just are born and we think everything is the way it is, when really we're living in a timeless universe where everything is dynamic. Everything is dynamic, meaning that everything is in a constant ebb and flow. And that's where you see the web, the spider web. Everything is connected. We are part of the fabric of the universe. Therefore, we are part of the creation itself. We are creators. We're co-creators. And for me, when I'm realizing opening your mind, for me, it's about letting things go. Letting external so-called realities disappear. The reality of the television. I'm watching these soaps right here. I remember I used to watch a program called Sunset Beach, and every 5 minutes they used to pause, and it's so addicting. You almost get lost in these television shows, because a lot of the architects of this reality, this 3D dimension, because there's so many different beings, we think we're the only ones, and a lot of them, they know human beings better than we know ourselves, because we are living in a world of infinite possibilities. And that goes, when I was journeying within, I'm like, okay, we don't know everything on this planet. We think that 1 + 1 is 2 and all of these things, and everything you're told in school, unless you question it, you'll always be in a limited state. And for me, it's empowering just to see so many people find their true power. And that's a scary thing. A lot of people, when you let fear disappear and you realize, okay, nobody is watching me, you're actually watching yourself. Like here, they have so many cameras in these streets and all around, and I'm like, I don't even look at them. They just disappear. Because that's the thing, everyone wants your mind. This is what we call spiritual warfare. And that's how it is. Because I never see things in terms of good or bad. The ones here, you have entities who will use your energy, but at the same time, they're just doing their job. Why would nature create something which was designed to kill you? Because it's for your own evolution. But at the same time, you can't look at that thing as negative. A lot of people are resisting these things. They say, okay, I have to fight this. I have to fight that. Resistance makes stronger. When you surrender to who you are 100%, this is what I'm saying to myself on my journey. When I surrendered 100%, I realized nothing can hurt you. Because you realize there's nothing to fight against. Because whatever you fight, you give power to. So as I'm just traveling around, I'm realizing when I've traveled to a lot of different countries, and whenever I was traveling, I was like, okay, sometimes you don't even appreciate places you go to. And then suddenly you go to a destination and you realize, wow, this is beautiful. What's changed? Nothing has changed. It's you that's changed. Because all the experiences are coming from within. You can stay in one place and see the whole world, or you can move around so fast and see nothing. And that's how it happens. A lot of us, we're in a hurry to get nowhere fast. We're on the road to the riches and diamond rings, and that's how I've seen it, even on my own journey when I was in the rat race. And I was like, is this what I really want to do? And then I said, no, it's not. What I want to do is live in abundance. Because a lot of us, we have this notion, you got to suffer. You got to go through stress. You got to go through strain. That's the way to make it. For me, I realize, don't struggle to make it. And the less effort these days I'm using, the more fluid life is becoming, the more smooth it's becoming. Don't get me wrong, life is not, it's not just an easy ride. So there's always challenges, but at the same time, when you move from one level, you move to the next, because we're living in a world of infinite levels, infinite possibilities. But at the same time, a lot of us, we reach roadblocks because we're not listening to our inner voice. We're drowning it out. A lot of us, we're just doing what our parents told us. You want to study, you want to work in a job, and all of these things, which work is something which we should all be doing anyway. Work is life itself. But at the same time, you have to ask yourself, are you working to live, or are you living to work? Many of us, we're living to work instead of working to live. Let food be your medicine. Eating high vibrational foods. And a lot of us, we have become seduced by the illusion makers in this dimension. And for me, some people call them the powers that be, or whatever you want to call them. But we are the powers that be. Once you say you are the power that is, you realize, okay, in a world full of masters, who rules? What happens when you're using the 360 senses? There are more senses than that. But when you reclaim your power, then you realize, okay, can you live in a world of infinity? A lot of us, we would be bored in paradise. That's why we created this hell. That's why many of us were in the underworld in Babylon, because we can't be left alone. That's why the whole analogy of people leaving the garden all around in different cultures, people used to live in bliss in ancient times, but at the same time, they got bored of it. So now we're living in chaos, but at the same time, so many people are going back to their origins, going back to nature. And for me, that's why I love creating videos. A lot of people, they say, okay, I want to connect with kindred spirits in my community. Even me on my journey, I said that. And then I realized, okay, what am I doing to attract kindred spirits into my lifestyle? I'm not doing anything. All I'm doing is sitting down, watching the football on television, drinking a Coca-Cola, and eating a burger and not doing anything. So that's what you're going to attract until you go out there. This is what I had to do. If you want to receive something, you got to give something. A lot of us, and that's where it goes back to the heart space. You got to open your heart to receive. A lot of us, we think, oh, I want to meet someone like that. Well, attract them into your life. Do something. Get on YouTube, make a video, and I guarantee you will see other like minds. I mean, I've been doing videos and I've just seen that it's a gift, because you realize that you can meet so many different people and you can learn from them. I'm learning from other people. But a lot of the times, if you just sit in your house you're not going to meet anyone. You've got to give yourself to other people, share with other people, and everything is reciprocal in nature. Everything is reciprocal. The sun has a relationship with the moon. The moon has a relationship to the water. The moon has a relationship actually to the female reproductive system. So without the moon, that's why in ancient times they realized that there were actually 13 moons. And throughout the ages, you had the Vatican, the Roman Catholic Church. They changed the dates to actually disrupt the menstrual cycle of the woman. But originally there was 13 months. That's where the word moon comes from. So you just connecting dots. And that's, for me, that's what it is to open your mind to a world of infinite possibilities. We are awake. Free your mind. And for me, every time it's ongoing. But one thing I've realized on my journey is that, are you part of the problem or are you part of the solution? A lot of us, we say, well, you need money to survive. This is the only way. Whenever you see there's only one way, then you're living in a limited state, because there's infinite possibilities. That means that there's infinite ways, there's infinite solutions. There's always infinity. So you can do anything in so many ways. There is never one path. And that's the whole thing. Humanity is elevating and is beautiful to see. This is not the time for fear. And that's how it is. On my journey, once I've just realized, okay, what do you fear the most? And that question, a lot of us, is death. And then we realize, okay, we're immortal. Once you know thyself, once you know who you are, that's why they say know thyself, not know someone down the street. You have to know thyself. And when you do, you find that you will become elevated. That's what happened to me on my journey. Because the journey is within. You are the mystery. When they talk of, in ancient Kemet, Egypt, they had the mystery schools where people like Pythagoras, Plato, they studied there. And these mystery schools talked of the higher sciences, the esoteric sciences. But at the same time, the biggest secret is that you are the mystery. There's nothing greater outside of yourself, because everything is you. Everything is connected. And that's how it is. We have to elevate. We are elevating on the planet, and it's beautiful to see. And it's just going to continue, because now the floodgates have been opened. There's only going to be infinite expansion, because the more and more people really realize that they don't have to live in the old way. They can create their own reality and they can start flying. And if you think you are going crazy, maybe you are. Because you're going to need to get crazy. You're going to need to get wild. And that's what I say to myself, because once you're wild, then that's the only way to be free. Infinite waters, diving deep once again. The sun is just about to come out. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace.